Hello everyone, this is going to be a video displaying all of the relevant bosses in BDO as of 2020, so that means I won't be looking into Quint and Muraka, only due to the fact that the two always despawn and unfortunately aren't sought after since their loot isn't very good. So the first world boss that we're going to be looking into is called Kutum. Now Kutum resides in the Scarlet Sand Chamber. This will be northeast of Nouver. If you don't know where Nouver is, it's over here. Once you arrive to the chamber and it's time, Kutum will emerge from the ground and you can start your fight. Now there are a few attacks that you want to be careful when you are fighting Kutum. So this attack here will suck you in, so you have to make sure to stay away from the AoE. Certain body movements that Kutum does indicates that it is about to attack, whether it's pointing straight up or crunches up and points straight down. Usually you'll have a moment where the AoE shows up in red and that'll give you maybe a second or two to escape. His basic attacks are pretty simple. It just turns around and swipes at you. You can see it coming and use your block or your iframe and then get past its swipe. It's nothing too difficult to avoid. It's going to go underground. It's easy to spot once you see the dust moving. So you see the ground rumbling, you want to be careful to steer clear of where the dust is. Now he's going into frenzy. His attack patterns may change a little bit and he's going to do more damage. So gotta get out of that. And there we go. Falls apart, we can get our drop. Make sure to keep the specific drops that come from the world bosses that have a description that say that it comes from them. You will need them for certain quests later on. Kutum is the boss that drops the Kutum weapons, which is typically the best in slot against monsters, depending on the AP bracket that you'll be using it at. The next world boss we're going to tackle is the world boss named Nouver. If you don't know where Nouver is, you go to Sand Grain Bazaar, which is northeast of Nouver, close enough to where Kutum was. Your map is going to be disabled in the desert unless you have the appropriate items. Otherwise, it's fairly straightforward. You simply head east while keeping an eye on the mountain range. If you're still unsure, you can find people stationed out at Sand Grain Bazaar and simply follow them on your way there. I'll play a fast forwarded clip so you can see where you're going. Don't forget your purified water or star anise tea, seeing as there is a desert debuff of hypothermia or heat stroke. And there we are. So he wasn't too far away. This took me maybe about 1 minute or two running. There are a few moves you're going to watch out for while you're fighting Nouver. At some point he is going to dig and then pop out with a bunch of tornadoes. So you want to be careful where the sand is rumbling. He's also going to take flight and randomly target players. So this attack is going to be a targeted attack, so you're going to want to pay attention to where he's facing. Make sure to guard or dodge. Nouver is the boss, which drops a Nouver weapon. Typically it's seen as best in slot for PvP, but again it depends on the bracket that you're at and the stats that you have. These are fairly straightforward. He doesn't do anything too crazy, just the conal AoE that he does over here trying to get caught in that, as well as the tornadoes. He's going to do some swipes while turning, so be wary of when he turns. Be ready to guard or to dodge. Here he's summoning the tornadoes and then he digs. You want to look out for where he's going to pop up, and there we go. Our next world boss is called Garmoth. This is one of the more main world bosses and very actively done, so he's very populated. Now I'm going to have players removed because there's a lot of people and I'm recording. You can find Garmoth in this canyon. This is her nest. Right over here, north of Duvenkroon, south of Heidel. So you'll see Garmoth's roar is resonating, it just spawned, and some statues will come up. What you're going to want to do is make sure to take care of the monsters that it summons and the statues. If you do not kill all the monsters in time, then Garmoth is going to absorb them and gain power. Garmoth's attack pattern isn't too complicated. When the ground is red, like this, make sure to get out. and the fire comes down. Now sometimes the fire reaches further than what the AoE is, so please be careful for that. Now you'll see that the statue is active and absorbing magic. Garmoth is going to attack you while you're at the statue. She's going to attack everyone who's at the statue with her fire breath. So right now, I just removed the player hide. As you can see, it's very active. I'm not actually here by myself. Turn this back off. Bye guys. This attack is a little bit different from the fire attack. After this shout, there's a linger. If you go in right now, you're still gonna get hit. You wait a moment, and then you can charge in. She'll swoop down and breathe fire in a line. So again, always paying attention to where she's facing, and be ready to move or block or make sure you use an iframe. As long as you keep your eyes on which way she's facing and her body language, you should be fine. Get yourselves out of the AoEs, and again, give yourself a bit of room past the red line because sometimes the attacks go past where it shows. The loot that you can get from Garmoth is Inverted Garmoth Heart and Garmoth's Heart. These are items that you can put into your weapons to gain boosts. They're worth a lot of money, so Garmoth is typically seen as a must-go-to world boss. Something else you can get from Garmoth is the Young Crimson Dragon. These pet dragons have different abilities, depending on which one you get. Next, in between Velia and Calphion, there lies a mountain. On top of that mountain is the Harpy Queen Karanda. Karanda is the world boss which drops the Dandelion Awakening weapons. These weapons are going to be your best in slot weapons, and a weapon that you're definitely going to want to strive to get. Karanda's coming down, and there she is. Be sure to watch Karanda's movement. Now she flew up, so be sure to go back. Sometimes she'll go up, and she will do an outwards AoE as well, so make sure that you're ready to go in or out. Unfortunately, we killed her too fast. She didn't do her AoE where she kneels downwards. She has 3 AoEs. She will kneel down and have an AoE that is far. She will fly up and have an AoE that is close. And she'll fly out of sight and have an AoE that is massive all around and leave one safe spot in the middle. Here's the mountain right in between Velia and Calphion, which you can find Karanda. The next world boss is going to be located directly south under Hydael. This world boss's name is Kzarka. He can be found in this temple right down over here. Directly south of Hydael, near this mountain range, you just pass through this altar and you'll find an entrance right over here. Once you've navigated through the halls of this temple, you'll find a big open space. Over here you await Kzarka's arrival. Kzarka's mechanics are fairly straightforward. He's going to do some swipes and AoEs. When he does his AoEs, you'll notice everyone will line up right over here with this pillar. The AoE line will pass where the pillar is. However, as long as you're standing behind this pillar, you will be safe. And this is Kzarka. He's going to have a bunch of smash attacks, and spells will fly down from the sky. His Kona AoE is pretty easy to see, just make sure you don't get caught in it. Once you see his aura charging up, once again, you go behind one of the pillars and be careful for the spells falling from the sky. After his AoE, he'll be surrounded by spells, and then you can close in. And there you are. Kzarka does die fairly quickly, so be sure to go in on time so you can get some loot. Our next world boss is going to be far southwest from Calphion and across the mountains. Right now we are waiting for Offin. The fight with Offin has one unique thing about it that is different from the other world bosses. You are going to have the option to take out a matchlock gun and fire at Offin's core. And here it is, the tree monster world boss, Offin. Let's get started. You're going to want to target one of its limbs. It's going to periodically fire shots, so be wary if you're being targeted. Be ready to guard or dodge. Now these arms are going to smash down on their opponents. Also, he's going to fire down these arrows, which explode. These bugs coming out will explode, so steer clear of them and make sure to kill them before they get to you. Here comes a large AoE. Steer clear. The AoE will pull you in, so make sure you're completely out. Now the other Offintets are coming out to attack. The gold one is the main one that you want to fight. Here's the part where Offin is weak. So you can take out a matchlock if you have one, however you don't have to. Make sure to aim for its core when you're firing and be wary of the monsters around you. And there you are. Once you're done, re-equip your weapons and go help out the others. These mobs can teleport around, so keep your eyes peeled for when they disappear as to where they might appear. The Offin tree and the mobs that he summoned have separate loot, so make sure not to forget to loot from both of the bodies. The last world boss we're going to be seeing is called Vell. Vell is a sea monster and can be found out in the Great Ocean. Now, to access this world boss, you are going to need a few things. You're going to need a ship with cannons, or a friend that has a ship with cannons that will let you hop on. To get to Vell, all you have to do is go north of Velia. After this island over here called Ocula Island, you're going to have no accessibility to your map, similar to in the desert, unless you have a compass. You'll spot a bunch of ships once you get to Vell, so it's pretty easy to see. It's really hard to miss as long as you keep north. Now, we're going to head north. There are a few factors that will determine how fast you go: the speed of your ship, the current, and the wind. If the current and the wind are against you, it may take you much longer to get there. It is highly recommended that you go maybe around 30 minutes ahead of time from Velia, and 15 minutes or 10 minutes from Ocula Island, which was the island we were just at. If you don't have a ship, don't worry. All you need to do is the Great Sea Expedition questline in your main quest tab. Follow that series of quests and they're going to give you a basic ship, so try to get as close as you can to these seal stones without passing them. That is very important. You do only have to hit Vell once to claim the loot, and it is going to go to your Black Spirit safe, so you don't have to worry about grabbing the loot. When you see it blasting a big jet stream, you want to jump off the ship and dive deep underwater until it is done. One person in the party has to hit Vell with a cannon, and everyone who is in the party on the ship will get the loot. Once Vell has been defeated, all the rocks will go down, and your loot will be right over here in your Black Spirit safe. So Vell has two very rare high value drops called a Vell's Heart and Vell's Concentrated Magic. However, this item is basically used to make this one. Vell's Heart is an alchemy stone which gives you permanent AP and a very strong effect upon use. I hope this video was able to help you out. If you still want to see a video about Muraka Quint, leave a comment in the comment section down below and I'll go and fight it. While it is going to despawn, I can still demonstrate some of their mechanics and the way they play. If you still have any questions or concerns, don't be shy to leave them in the comment section down below, or tune into a live stream and ask me then. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and take care. Bye.